Hi everyone, Melanie Muenchinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I have several projects for you with my newest set from Gina K Designs, This Girl Is. And I'm going to be showing you, if you have the MISTI, you can take these large words, place them all down at one time, and then use it again and again to make a variety of designs. I'm going to be doing some different techniques today, direct to stamp and direct to paper techniques, using the 2018 add-on collection from Gina K Designs. These are really fun for using on these words, and I'm going to have a part 2 of this video where I'm going to show you even more techniques with that same configuration of words on the MISTI. In addition to this set and the cubes, you're also going to need some cardstock. So I've got an A2 size base. This is the Gina K Pure Luxury Heavy Base Weight White. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. So you just use your score buddy for that. Then I've got just a couple pieces of the layering weight white cardstock. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and I have 2 of them because I'm going to stamp these up differently. I've got some of the Gina K Designs Jet Black Amalgam Ink. I've got a white pen. Any gel pen will work. This is the Uniball Signo. Then we've also got some foam squares for popping up that layer, a small block for any of the small stamps that you do, and then if you want to have a water brush for doing a little bit of watercoloring with those cubes. So let's begin by getting our words all laid out on our mat. So I'm just going to put this right here. I'm going to put the magnet down on both ends. And so the way that I want to do this is I'm going to choose just some of these different adjectives here, and I want them to go back and forth on the card. So here's the first thing that we're going to be doing, the first iteration of this. So as you can see, I kind of have them going back and forth, and I left a little space to nest the and in here. So I put you are on this, but I think on this one I might nest in some of the different words, the different relationships, or I guess roles that you could say, in a woman's life. So we're going to do, let's see, I'm going to put down faithful, and let's see, celebrated. And these can be in any order that you want. Talented, beautiful, and let's see, brave. Put that one right there. So I'm just kind of laying them out so that they nest together. Have little spaces, and I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do joyful. Okay. All right, just like that. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm just going to press the door down. This is on the mini MISTI. And then we're going to take these cubes, and we're just going to go ahead and ink these up. I'm going to put this little storage board behind here just so that you can see the colors as I ink it up there, since it's kind of hard on that black mat. All right, so the first way that we're going to do these, I'm just going to have one color for each word. So I'm going to start with the coral reef because I want it to kind of go down like a rainbow. And if you want to keep them separate, you can. But if you want them to overlap a little bit to create kind of an ombre effect, two-tone or a gradient, you can do that. Okay, so I'm going to do, actually let me do the key lime first. So it's really nice that these are small because it makes it easy to get really precise inking. So I'm going to overlap this just a little bit at the bottom of the talented word and then the top of the celebrated. And then I'm going to do the sea glass, the very bottom of that celebrated, and then the top of the faithful. And then I'm going to take some of this tranquil teal, and that's going to go across the bottom of the faithful and the top of the joyful. And then I'm going to finish it with this purple, the plum punch, on the bottom. Okay. And I just want to kind of tilt that in the light and make sure that it looks like it's all inked before I do my stamping, and then I'm just going to press the door down, push all over, and lift it up. Okay, so I want to have a little bit more ink there on that middle part. So I'm just going to go over that with the sea glass. This is the lighter color. Do that one more time, and then move this. Make sure I have a really nice solid surface there. Nothing underneath that's bumping it up. Okay, so that's, and I'm going to put a little bit more of the, where'd the tangerine twist go? I'm going to put a little bit more of that on the beautiful. It's a little splotchy. So this is one of the best things about the MISTI, that you can do it over and over again and get it really nice and solid. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave all of that on there. I'm going to go ahead and take this off and just set this aside. And on this one, you can see that I put in the UR and then the little ands in between. So I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I think I'm going to do my friend. So I'm going to take the small block, and I'm going to use the amalgam ink. So I'm going to put friend here at the bottom, and then I'm going to do the my, where is that? My. It's down here at the bottom. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Now what I want to do is I'm going to add a few little accents to this. So if you want to keep it nice and clean like that, you could just mount that right onto your card base, but I want to add just some little accents around this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, again, I put this under here so you can see the images a little bit better. So we've got little hearts, butterflies, and flowers in 2 sizes. So I'm going to put just a few of these on here to accent this, and then we're going to go back to our MISTI and do another version. So I'm going to use just the jet black amalgam here, and then I'm going to use a couple of the small butterflies, and you can make these perch on the letters, which I think is kind of fun way to use them. And I've got 3 different views of these butterflies, so you can see them flying sideways or straight forward. Do one up here. And I'm just kind of having it move around the card. And then I'm going to use one of the tinier flowers just to make the scale a little bit different. Let's put one there, there, there. And then maybe just add a couple little hearts. So I'll do this heart and that heart. And then one more of the little tiny ones, because I love to use multiple sizes of hearts, like they're kind of bubbling up. Okay. And then what you can do with these cubes, let me get the door here again of the MISTI. So I'm going to just put a little bit of this ink onto the door, and you can put the colors next to each other so that you can have them blend if you want. And go ahead and do a little bit of this green. I forgot to add some leaves. So let me put some leaves on there. And then some of the teal. And then the plum punch. Okay. So I'm just going to lift the color off. I'm not using watercolor paper here, but I'm just going to just swirl that in. And the tip of my brush is getting a little bit frayed, so I'm having a hard time staying in the lines on these tiny ones. I might need to grab a different brush. I'm going to put just a little bit of the orange here, and then I'm just going to just wipe that off a little bit, and then I'm going to do some of the teal and some of the purple. And then I'm going to do some of the flowers in the purple. Let's go ahead and do one with the red. These are mixing together and it's becoming kind of cranberry a little bit. And then I'm going to just wipe this off and do a little bit of orange in the center of my flowers. And let me grab that leaf that I was talking about. Okay, so the leaf stamp. And what did I do with the leaves? Okay, here we go. So we have a couple different little leaves here. So here's one that I'm going to just add really quickly with the amalgam ink. And then again, if you want to leave it really clean, you can. So these just stamp right on around the petals. I'll put one over here. But if you want to add a little bit more detail, you can take just a plain black pen and just do some little dots around them. So I'm going to do just a little bit of green on those leaves. There. There. Okay, and then I think I'm going to make, let's see, make this flower red also. Okay. All right, so if you want to add just a little bit more personality to this, just take your pen and, oh, I got one flower here. Go ahead and just add some orange to that. All right, so just add a little bit more detail. I'm just going to put just some little dots. And that just kind of adds some texture. So again, if you like a cleaner look, just leave it white. But this just makes it look a little bit more whimsical and artistic, a little bit more personalized. And then you could do some little dotted lines like the butterflies are flying in and out. Okay, all right, so there's another one, and I'm going to show you some different examples that I did here at the end. Here's one that I did where I stamped it all in black, and then I used the different colors of that same ink cube set for my and then the my friend. Okay, one more technique that I'm going to do here is I am going to stamp this all in black. So I'm going to be taking the Gina K Tidy Towel here, and I'm just wiping this off. You won't see it in the black, but I'm still just trying to keep it nice and clean. All right, so we're going to go over this with the amalgam inks. This is great for detail, great for sentiments. Get it really nice and crisp and dark. So I'm going to put in my second mat here. And this is a really fun one to do. All right, so those words are going to be right in the same spot. Let's press all over it, and it looks like I might have not gotten all the ink on that bottom corner. So if so, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm just going to lift it back up. So let me do this one more time. And you'll see how much darker it is on the second stamping. You just want to make sure that that didn't move at all. If it did, you'll just press the paper right back into the corner. So just do this one more time. Press all over. Okay, perfect. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to do, the last one was a direct to stamp technique because we were inking with our ink cubes onto the stamp. This time we're going to be inking with the cubes onto the paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these swipes with my cube, and I just want to highlight each word. So I'm just going to go across, and it's going to be streakier the less pressure you use. And I'm going to have them overlap a little bit. You can have it go off the page or not. You can also, I really like going left to right since I'm right-handed, but you can also go this way to have the stroke taper off the other direction. And I'm not going to use the Tranquil Teal, I don't think, on this one. Well, no, I did on the first one and I could still read it. I just want to make sure I can still see that black. And then, yeah, I'll do the teal on the bottom. I'm going to have this one go this way again. Okay. All right. So there's our colors. So it's going to look really sharp on here. But what I want to do, again, I want to add those little pieces. So again, I'm just going to use the flower and the butterfly. And this is going to be where your white pen comes in. And this is going to look really cool. So I'm just going to do a few of these flowers back and forth down the side. And then a couple of the little butterflies. And I'm going to have them overlapping some of the different colors and coming outside of it. And let's do one of the front facing ones. And I'm just working quickly. You can accent this more if you want to. Okay? So what we're going to do now with our white pen, this is going to really make those details pop out over the little colored bits. So I'm just going to go on here and do those centers. You see, this is a nice opaque pen. And then those wings. Here's one that's overlapping. So you see that just perfectly matches the white that's on the outside of that. So I just think that looks so sharp. And then if you want to add like a little drop shadow to any of these, just to make them stand out a little bit more, you can do tracing with the white pen, and you just want to keep it consistent that they're all on the same side. So the spots are so handy. I'm so glad I got them. Even though I have all the colored pads, I really use them a lot. And so you could add that to the other words, and then you would just layer that on top of your card base. So here's the one that I made before, so you can see that in just a different configuration. Let me also show you one more that I did where I added the girl on here and some of the butterflies, and then I just used some of my markers to kind of create that gradient on her dress. So again, really love using these big words, and when I put them in my MISTI, I just left them there, and I want to just do a little quick peek of some watercolor techniques I'm going to be doing in my next video. So I already showed one of these cards on my blog, but this is an embossed watercolor resist technique, and I'm going to be showing that. I also have it here where I use just the orange and red tones. These are both with clear embossing powder. And then I made a piece of framed art using the Gina K rose gold to do my embossing, and then just some shades of blue. So these are with the Peerless watercolors. Like I said, I will show that in the next video. So I hope you'll come back for that. But I hope you will check out my This Girl Is set and try out these ink cued spots with your MISTI, because there's just so many different things that you can do, and these cards go so quickly. Thanks for watching today. Please visit my blog, Hands, Head, and Heart, for more ideas and inspiration using all of our stamp sets, and at Gina K Designs and Stamp TV. Thank you for watching today. God bless.